We've spent a week anchored near Moorhead City waiting out bad weather. But finally we find our weather window to make the jump to Cape Fear. And Captain Lexi, being the social butterfly that she is, makes friends with the two homeless guys, makes friends with a local police officer named Ethan, and we meet a sailor who pulls in named Bo. And as you guys know, we usually try not to include other people in our YouTube stories, but Bo was such a cool human being, young guy in his 30s from Alabama with fabulous southern manners. This solo sailor pulled in on his 31-foot Halberg Rassie. He was by himself and we helped him land. The next day I helped him repair his sails and we hung out a little bit. One of the coolest things about being a sea gypsy is that you meet other amazing human beings. And Bo was not only a unique character, he also plans to circumnavigate the globe alone in his little boat. You gotta respect that kind of bravery and courage. So the night before we were due to leave, we invited Bo over for dinner.
I have to hear Smokey and the Bandit, long time to go, short time to get there, whatever. I've got to hear.
Don't pose with the camera.
Okay, alright.
Hey, hold on. There you go.
So, I thought Michelle was completely insane for putting hot sauce on salad, and then our company Bo does exactly the same thing. So Michelle might only be half as crazy as I think he is.
Yeah, there you go. I'm very appreciative of the fine dinner that I've been able to enjoy. That was prepared. I've got a nice little salad and hot food.
Yeah, it's good.
A real meal.
It's good. And I'm getting you up, and she's cracking on me because I'm eating hot sauce.
As all sailors do, eventually the topic turned to weather. We told Bo that we were intended to make our 120 nautical mile outside passage tomorrow to Cape Fear. He decided to join us. Hurricane Florence had slammed this area about a month previously. There was more nasty weather on the way, and a hurricane south of us smashing up Florida. We had to choose our weather window carefully. Oh yeah, and remember Officer Ethan that I made friends with earlier? Turns out he loves sailing and would love the opportunity to crew with us on our passage to Cape Fear. So we invited him along. Night watches are certainly easier if they're rotated among 3 crew members versus 2 crew members. And you've seen larger ships in there.
No,
Oh. But the depths
it's been a
of
while
this,
since I've been back, since I've been there.
if we come in, right, this is
But there is.
private docks? Is that what all this
Yeah, I
is?
think so.
Like people's houses and... So WildChild is in North Carolina at Moorhead City Transient Docks. Fabulous, lovely place, amazing people, and very hospitable. We've been stuck here for about a week. The sun is just rising and our weather window's opening. So we gotta go. The next jump is around Cape Fear. So we gotta do about 120 miles. It looks like, according to the wind forecast, we have a weather window. But given that all wind forecasts are wrong, how wrong will it be and what part of it will be wrong? That becomes the question. I don't know. We're going to help our friend Bo cast off. He's single-handed in an Alberg 31, I think, or Alberg 32. And then we're going to go. He's going to come outside solo. In sailing, each captain is responsible for their own vessel and making their own decisions. For our vessel, I'm confident that WildChild can make this jump, even though it'll be kind of nasty. And I've got 3 people on board. I think Captain Bo's decision to go single-handed on an outside passage today is really brave. The conditions are going to be pretty sporty out there because we're squeezing in on the backside of a nasty storm just as it passes offshore. He's going to be alone.
There you go.
This is for the file. Police file, missing persons, last seen.
He was such a good guy.
As Bo makes all of his last-minute preparations, we're waiting patiently on the dock for him to be ready, because once he sets out, he can't leave the helm. He doesn't have an autopilot. The three of us help get Bo off the dock and into the current as he heads out alone into the ocean. As the sunrise breaks the horizon, WildChild is following Bo out the channel to the ocean to make our next jump to Cape Fear. Those clouds on the horizon are the trailing edge of the nasty that we're squeezing in behind. I'm really nervous at the helm, hoping that this doesn't turn out to be a mistake like last time. Teacher Lexi is doing her best to give our new crew Ethan a crash course on the information at the helm, how to run the boat.
Sometimes though you'll see a wall pop up in front of us, which could...
I'm trying to give as much instruction as I can in the calm waters of the channel, because I know when we get out into the open ocean, this is gonna be sporty. And before we get out of the channel, we have our sails set and we are engine off. We are sailing out. Look at those waves crashing on the beach ahead though. It's gonna be sporty out there. And that sailboat in the distance, that's Bo taking a beating in the 6-foot waves.
He's got a brand new engine.
As we're coming out, we're heading into the wind and we have to motor assist to get ourselves through the swell, through the narrow channel, into open water where we can bear off and switch back to just sails.
Morning.
Good morning, sailing fans. So we are leaving Morehead City, North Carolina for the second time. And this time we will succeed to our way around Cape Fear because we have crew.
There you go. So you can join us for that journey. Hopefully it will be
It'll make the
nice
night sail
one.
easier.
Yeah.
It's a bit swelly here over the shallows because of that storm that passed ahead overnight kind of has some leftover energy in the waves. Hopefully as we get deeper it mellows out. It's not quite so, yeah, that's 5 foot. That's 5 foot swell.
Ethan is sitting with me at the helm and he's grinning ear to ear. He's loving it. Just because of the conditions, we had to motor assist for almost an hour until we get out past these last 2 channel marks a few miles out to sea, when we can bear off and kill the engine. And that's Bo ahead of us.
Hi guys. So today it's Wednesday. It's almost 8 o'clock. We left at 7. The angle of the wind is 55, 60. So it's not perfect yet. We're trying to get closer to shore. The wind is offshore, so it will be all day, all night, and tomorrow until destination. Before that, Cape Fear, it will be between 15 and gust wind up to 30, 31. So, but it should get calmer later when we're closer to shore. It will take a few hours, maybe until 12 or 1 o'clock. But now we're doing 14 over 3, 2, depend of the wind angle, depend of the wave, because it's pretty wavy. The swell are big also.
Now here's an interesting side story. as WildChild's making her way southwest in sporty conditions along the coast, we know that there's a 40-knot storm cell moving off to the east that we're squeezing in behind. Now, the last we had seen of Bo, he was about 5 miles further out to sea, and we saw him floundering, heading the wrong way into the storm cell, and then we lost radio contact with him. We were getting kind of worried. Is he okay out there alone? And then we see the big Coast Guard ship come out between WildChild and Bo's last known position, and now we're really worried. Oh no, why is the Coast Guard out here? Are they looking for Bo? Has something happened to him? What we didn't know at the time was that Bo was just having trouble with his furling system, so he fell off the wind into a run, ran up on deck, fixed his furler, came back around into the wind and was back on course. What we saw from the deck of WildChild is that the Coast Guard ran parallel to us for about 5 minutes and then turned off to the east and headed into the storm. What we learned the next day on the news is that a brand new Beneteau Oceanus 55 ocean-going flagship was on its way to the Annapolis Boat Show with a professional crew of 4 on board when they demasted and damaged the rudder and had to call for Coast Guard rescue. On WildChild, things are a little sporty, but we're doing fine. She can take it, we're on course, and things are going well. At the time, we know nothing about the Beneteau being rescued at the moment. We're a little worried about Bo, though.
So Ethan, what do you think?
Amazing so far.
You enjoy it?
Absolutely.
Or it's wavy and it's cold, but you still enjoy it?
It's wavy, it's cold, it's windy, but yeah, it's that's what we need to make it happen.
Yep.
Minus
Happy
the
to have
cold.
you on board.
What's that?
Happy to have you on board.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Happy to be here. Most definitely.
Ethan was just loving the adventure and grinning the whole time.
I knew how that was. Well, me and we were talking. I was constantly either shifting my feet, pushing also in, or so I'm thinking I'm probably going to be sore after this little.
It's like a workout.
It is, yeah, definitely.
People don't appreciate why you're tired when you're done, but it is. But if you can get there and tuck your back in, it's actually not so bad, protected from the wind. Just
Oh
relax.
no, when you're like
It's
that
worse
there,
back here. It's like the back of the bus is bumpier. It's the same phenomenon.
I still like it.
So if you go down.
As the day wears on, conditions calm down as forecast. WildChild is doing fine, 16/6, 60-degree wind angle. The sun is shining, the ocean is calm, and we're doing fine. WildChild is making miles in the right direction and we're staring at success. But I'm still worried about Bo back there. Ethan was awesome to have aboard as crew. He was like a machine. He did the entire 30-hour passage in the cockpit. He did later admit, though, that the rocking motion of the boat kind of soothed him right to sleep. As the sun was slowly drifting its way down in the western sky, WildChild was in a fabulous position for a good night sail. It looked like we would round Cape Fear 20 miles offshore sometime in the night.
Yep, twice. That's what you do for the Jenny. The main one has anchor points that you pull down. the mainsail doesn't roll, right?